maybe sometimes you're just not in the mood for objectives. I mean, you get enough of those at work every day, right? I mean, maybe you just don't like being told what to do. Maybe you're thinking, save the princess, kill the zombies, protect the castle, why should I? So if you're the kind of person who would rather kill time than enemies, this is the game type thing for you. This is My Sims, a Wii release which seems to fall within the nomenclatural boundaries of creativity software more than traditional video game.
Izo Floritza. Yibuni Floritza?
Developed at Electronic Arts' Redwood City headquarters, this 2007 release shares little in common with the franchise from which it spun. My Sims scales back the elements of social interaction which made The Sims such a huge success, and instead, it gives players what basically amounts to a virtual set of Lego. Indeed, while interacting with other Sims may be part of the experience, this game is more a construction toy than a social experiment. You'll start by naming your town, which is where the game takes place, and creating your sim. These Sims don't really resemble Nintendo's own Miis, but they take a similar route to a different destination. The game doesn't give you a ton of options, but you'll be surprised at what you can create with the options that are available. Like the Miis, they result in exaggerated caricatures with huge eyes, simple features, and loads of personality. And it's really a lot of fun to make these surprisingly on-target, Lego-like versions of yourself. Once your sim is born, it wastes no time joining the workforce, and as fun as the game may be, there's plenty of work to do in My Sims. It turns out the town you've named has fallen on hard times. What once was a vibrant economic and residential hub has been ravaged by rampant vandalism and economic collapse, resulting in a population which has dwindled to a mere handful. Vacant lots where five-star hotels and proud businesses once stood now provide space for piles of scrap wood and unused bricks, the sad remnants of better times, and perhaps an analogy for the world's current economic climate. Or, the premise for a fun little video game time waster. As you arrive in this ghost town, the mayor asks you to literally save the day. You're tasked with restoring the town to its former glory, a mission, should you choose to accept it, that you'll complete by building new houses and persuading visitors to call the town their new home. The more Sims you get to move in, the more lively the town becomes, and the more activities are opened up.
Tombalu Obustini?
That very basic structure is the skeleton around which My Sims is fleshed out. You're basically doing favors the entire game, and since the game is focused on construction, making objects for the new citizens. So to get Chef Gino to move into town, for example, you'll need to build him his own restaurant, and once he's a resident, he'll ask you to make him a pizza oven. So if you do that, he obviously becomes very happy, and that's the objective of the game, however loose it may be. Get people to move into town and keep them happy. But although My Sims may have missions to a degree, it's actually all about creativity and freedom. You don't really have to do anything per se, and you can easily spend hours just tinkering around town, decorating your house and building things in your workshop. And there's something very satisfying about watching the town change and evolve based on your creativity. From the houses and the furniture to the buildings and even the placement of trees, My Sims is merely a palette for your own imagination and ingenuity. Of course, there's a myriad of issues with the game as well. For instance, there's absolutely no online functionality whatsoever, which really seems like a missed opportunity. And from a technical standpoint, you have to deal with plenty of obnoxious loading screens, which make the experience feel annoyingly disjointed. The graphics also fall well short of matching the charm of the game's art style, and there's a lot of frame rate issues. As cute as My Sims may be, there's nothing cute about a constantly chugging frame rate. Still, I'd be lying if I said My Sims isn't a deceptively engrossing time sucker into which you can pour hours without even realizing it. It's simple and perhaps skews toward a younger audience than the main Sims series, but it's refreshingly player-driven and very creative. If you like games like Animal Crossing, My Sims is a release you should definitely check out, if only to sneak into strangers' houses while they're sleeping, wake them up, and tickle them. And let's be honest, who among us hasn't wanted to wake someone up with a good tickle fight?